Okay, I'm here in Potrero Chico, and I'm reaching the top of one of the pitches of my multi-pitch route. And looking around, I noticed that I'm transitioning from 5th class climbing into 3rd class. So if I wanted to, I could just take this rope and continue up the 3rd class and start belaying off some anchors that are established at the top of this 3rd class terrain, which is what's recommended in Mountain Project. But one of the things about doing that is this rope would then run over all those loose blocks, and as I go up there, or as I belay and this rope starts moving over those blocks, I could cause rock fall, which could actually kill my follower or could actually kill people at the base. So I'm going to demonstrate a different technique that's actually faster and significantly safer, which is a recommended technique to use not only in multi-pitch terrain where you're transitioning into 4th or 3rd class, easy terrain, but also in the mountains where those types of transitions happen with great frequency. So first I clip my quad into these bolted anchors. I like to use a quad. It's pre-constructed, it's fast to build. It's a good anchor if you have 2 very bomber pieces of protection, such as 2 bolts or 2 solid ice screws. And I'm going to clip myself in. I'm just going to use a clove hitch, which is my preferred method for attaching to the rope most of the time, but this method's going to change in a minute. Okay, off belay. And now the rest will probably look quite similar to other techniques you've learned. I'm going to attach my plate. I want to make sure the face faces out. Okay, plate is attached, the anchor, and now I'm going to bring up the rope as quick as I can because we're trying to move fast here, right? Okay, so now there's my climber. I'll load my climber in. Okay, you're on belay. And here's where things start to change a little bit. So as my climber climbs, if I can see, then I'm going to wait until they get to a piece of protection to clean that piece of protection. When they're slowed down, I'm going to start manipulating some things here at the anchor. So I'm going to flip my stack. Okay, so now my end is on the top. Okay, I'm pulling out easily. Didn't quite get it over there. Okay, my end's now on the top. And now I'm going to change my attachment system. So I want to check and continue to belay. This is a double length runner. Here I want a little bit of a shorter attachment to the anchor. Keep me in close, okay, because double length might be a little longer. So I'm going to just use a single length runner. I like to use lockers. You don't necessarily need to use lockers, but it adds a lot of security at a very potentially very dangerous stance here. Okay, so put that guy in there, and I can just attach this straight into my belay loop. Okay, so now I'm affixed to the anchor, so I can come out of this guy. Again, checking and belaying. Okay, now that's out. Now as I continue to belay, when there's pausing, I'm going to take this strand that's coming from my waist that I haven't untied from, and I'm going to coil it up. If I had a larger backpack, I have a pretty small summit pack on here, but if I have a backpack that's usually in the 20 to 30 liter range, I like to have like a speed 24 is pretty nice. Then I can also stack this in the pack. Okay, since this is a pretty short section of 3rd class, maybe 150 to 250 feet, I'm actually just going to coil it on my body. It won't be that cumbersome for a short period of time. So belay, belay. Grab this strand, it's going to go up and over my head. I'm going to do kiwi coils. I'm not going to teach the kiwi coil, but you can see a little bit how I'm taking these in. You can do palm down. This is the most popular way to do it. I like to do the back of my wrist, and you can go pretty quick. Okay, so here comes my climber. Using a backpack for this. Okay, so I've got a little bit of rope here. I want to make sure that I have enough rope out so that we can walk up this terrain without this rope pulling on us and making us unbalanced. So that's about the right amount based on the terrain that I see, this pretty easy 3rd class terrain. So I can leave my buddy right on the plaquette. It's always a good idea to tie a backup knot if you're going to go hands-free for a period of time. As I was belaying in, my hands were off of the brake strand. In this type of an orientation, where the brake strand is parallel with the load strand and the climber is coming in from below, not from an angle across, right? So they're not traversing it or down climbing into the anchor. And there's only one climber. I'm not belaying 2 climbers at the same time. Then generally it's acceptable to release the brake strand to do other tasks. This technique that I'm showing is inappropriate if you are working with two climbers in your plaquette device at the same time. This is only effective if you're working with one climber at a time. Okay, so now I'm going to lock my coils off. I like to go through my belay loop. There's a lot of different ways of locking the coils off. Locking the coils off is about safety is not directly about safety, it's more about comfort and organization. Okay, so I'm not going to be belaying directly off this. If I think I might be doing short pitching where I'm actually setting up terrain belays or anything like that, or I might be leading on this, then it's a good idea to clip this into my waist in some way. I like to use a clove hitch, but you could also use a bite knot, like an overhand on a bite would be fine too. Okay, the clove hitch is nice because it's adjustable. I can get it right where I want it. Okay, so now that's in there. So I can get myself into a safe position. Right now you can see I'm in here, but I'm also in on the plaquette device. So if I take my tether off, I will fall a good distance, but I still have some element of safety. So here it's a little bit tricky, it's a little bit steeper, so I might move into this position and then take myself off. Okay. And then my partner can come up and clean the anchor and the plaquette device while I'm up and above. Okay, and then we can just walk together, and it's pretty easy for us to keep this in coils. You can do round coils, or you can do butterfly coils if you're not using a hand belay technique. You're just using this for rope management, and walk to your next belay. That's much more effective. It's actually much faster than had I linked through, because if I link through, then only one of us is moving at a time, and obviously it's significantly safer. It's a good technique to remember when you're in the mountains or anywhere else there might be loose rock around.